We're attempting to build this house ourselves from the ground up, and pretty much nothing has gone as planned, but with winter officially here, we're really starting to feel the pressure. In this episode, we push on and make some huge progress on the exterior of the home, but illness and burnout have really taken their toll, and for the first time ever, we decide to ask for help.
It is a beautiful day. The hardest part of any project is getting started, so we are getting started right now.
First step is to put a piece of trim up. Really, its only purpose is to keep bugs out, I think. It doesn't, the crown staples don't pierce the thicker metal. But I was considering
Going to Mexico?
we're gonna try to use the framing nailer. Think it's gonna work?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, I think we're jammed. Oh, it's router nails.
Riley.
I thought it was jammed, and I just put a nail in our ladder.
Are these mine or yours?
Those are not mine.
Huge. I feel like I'm wearing horse clogs.
You sound like it too.
Ready?
Yeah, there we go.
Two, maybe you want to wear your tool belt?
Maybe. I determined that for whatever reason, the cordless framing nailer will not work upside down anymore. Quit, it's too cold. It's raining over here. I got it.
Okay. The logical thing would probably be to do the soffit trim all the way around the house, but we need a win. This morning's been really frustrating, and I just feel like we need a win. So we're actually gonna just skip all that for now, and we're gonna put some soffit material up so that at least like part of the house looks done by the end of the day.
Get some visual progress.
Yes, we need some momentum.
Whew, I was about to get the excavator. Well, this is gonna be the first time we've like seen the color of the house, you know?
Blue!
Do you think this plastic's gonna come off easier?
Oh, Riley, if it doesn't, I quit. Nobody's gonna come off.
Okay. Woo! I like that. Each one of these needs to get cut to length, like cut in half, so we get two pieces out of each one. And I have a terrible idea that we're about to go try. Do you think this is gonna work?
No.
That worked pretty well. I mean, it was terrifying, but like, it worked. First piece of soffit going on.
Looks so good.
Thanks. And then the fascia cap trim will go over the top of this and finish it off.
Is that why you're gonna, oh!
It's dangerous out here today. That looks good, huh?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
The blade on the saw is immediately dull, and it is not cutting well at all anymore. Like, it went from being sketchy to downright dangerous. Back to the trusty grinder we go, which is gonna be slower. That's okay. Slow is smooth, and smooth is slow.
I'm gonna put my big girl pants on, and I'm gonna help Riley because otherwise I think it might be like summer 2025 before we get these soffits done. 25 and Nate.
Nicely done. Good job, hun.
We got this, babe.
Yeah, we do. We got this.
If I just don't stop, I don't have to think about how many more of these I have to cut.
Can you stabilize my ladder, please?
Got it. We crushed that.
Nice. Look at that.
It's getting dark, but we have made it so much further today than I thought we were going to, and I'm just feeling like really motivated, and I'm super happy with how it's turning out.
I think it's time to put the fascia cap on, which is the piece that basically covers the rest of the exposed wood right here. It's like the trim that's gonna make the roof look so good. I'm still not a tool belt man, but it's kind of unavoidable some days. Oh, you can set my belt on fire. Roll it down a hill and still. This is gonna be one of those days where I need all of the tools all the time, huh? Roof angle.
Good. It's the kind of day that means you're making progress.
Just saw a snowflake go by my ear. The hand bender. I think that looks pretty good. They're different than what we've used before. See how big the washer is? Oh. It has this cap on it, and the washer sucks all the way up into the cap and is completely hidden. I'm gonna guess it keeps the washer out of the sun, and it also means you can't overdrive it because the metal hits, and that's when you know you've gone far enough, so you can't squirt the washer out. So I think it's a better screw. Under there. Does that look like it's in the right spot?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that, Courtney. That looks really nice.
Looks amazing.
This time around, we're gonna pre-drill so that I'm not trying to measure and mark this stuff out when I'm on the roof. We'll just go right to where the hole is. I'm gonna go on the roof. And hopefully the roof is more dry than when I tried to go up here the other day. How's that look?
Oh, so good. Okay, goal of the day is don't drop Riley.
All right, I got my nail gun, I've got the trim, and you're gonna try to take me around the corner.
Ready?
Yeah.
That looks so close.
It's very close. Nicely done. Rotate, doing a great job. I feel like figuring out that we could use the framing nailer for this part makes this so much easier than trying to put screws in. The ring shank nails are not coming out. Now, I think...
Nice.
Oh no, the little stick I cut is just a hair too long. Thank you. This little block. Oh yeah, yes, I got it. I'm gonna like this. Oh no. I can't see, I'm hot, and I'm cold at the same time. I got that back in. Well, Courtney, the good news is that I hemmed it the right way, or notched it, or mitered it, or whatever you call it. Looks so good. I am so happy with how this detail is turning out on this building. I think we had a lot of questions when we did this about how this first roof panel works, because we didn't answer it, which is that this trim is gonna slab over the first roof panel and then clip under this one, and it's what finishes this whole edge off and make sure that any water that lands on top right here has to run down over the eave, down this and off the building. Like that. So, and then now we hem this edge and pinch it around that bottom one. There's no freaking way. Yeah, no. How would you ever do that? This stuff is so strong, and to think that I'm just gonna like squeeze that and that it's gonna look like straight and perfect, it's gonna look all like blah, 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 blah. I think this is the situation where we go off book and make up our own way. Just let that, you can go up. Yeah, okay. This is officially the last piece of the roof, Courtney.
Wow.
There it goes. Then I think the green's growing on me and we can just go with green. Now the roof is officially done.
It looks so good.
Yeah, have you stood back yet? That looks really nice. I love how like thick it ended up looking.
That looks great. What's next?
I think we start siding. What do you think?
Yeah. Good morning. It is a beautiful chilly morning here in North Idaho. Yesterday ended up being really, really frustrating. There's a bunch of trim that we have to put up before we can actually put siding up, and I started trying to peel the stickers off of the trim and it was leaving all of the residue behind. Like the entire sticker was just staying behind on the metal. It was so much residue that even WD-40 wasn't taking their residue off. And so we ended up taking all of the trim home last night and we put it all in front of the wood stove. We heated it all up and then the stickers started peeling off. So I think it was just an issue with everything being too cold. That set us back a little bit, but now we have a plan and I was able to peel enough trim off last night to do this wall. So that's what we're gonna do today.
If you can help me hold that end, and then I'm going to use my square to make sure that we're flush on this end. Okay, you resting on the block? Which means that I have to stand on my tiptoes on the edge of the ladder. Your way, your way, your way.
Hold on, I gotta go up a rung.
I can't see. Sorry, I closed my eyes. Now we put some sealant in. Put that on top of that, inside of that like this. Can you believe this stack is the entire house? It's a profile we've never used before. Yeah, I know.
It looks amazing.
I know, that's gonna look cool, Courtney.
It's really nice.
Well, the stack is stacked from biggest to smallest, which is not the order that we're gonna do this building in. Basically, we need to pull the whole stack apart and make 3 piles, 1 for each wall. What's going on? No. No? You're out of here. You got important things to do down there. Now it's time to figure out how to put this on. I've never used this 7/8 corrugated metal before, and I wanna pre-drill my hole pattern for all the screws so that once these are up on the wall, all of those screws are laser lined up. Dada. Dada. You're here to help me, buddy. 6 foot 1.5. Here we go. So I think we're starting on the most complicated wall because it's the rake wall, so it has the angle. And so all of these pieces, we need to cut that angle into the top of the piece. I just put my tools on the ground over there. Why do you, it seems like you're skeptical. Okay, well that fits, that's good. That fits, that's good. There it goes. Oh, come on. The top needs to, the bottom needs to swing to the left.
Okay.
More?
I can't.
You can't now. This panel is way more rigid than the metal we've worked with in the past, and we cannot get it to twist in order to get it into the J-channel around the windows. And the other problem is now we've scratched the J-channel up pretty bad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm gonna put a screw here, we're gonna make sure it's plumb. And then I think we're gonna need to figure out a different method. What's every new project, Courtney?
New tool day?
An excuse for a new tool! This is a nibbler. Like the grinder works, but man, it's a grind. Ah! Where's the metal go? Oh, right here. I mean, it's loud.
It's still very loud.
And I don't know if it's faster, but one thing I like about it is that I worry with the grinder that the grinder dust that's stuck to the metal is then gonna rust and stain everything. This makes little half moons that'll probably forever be in the sand here. Right, so this one now we can slide up into here, and now we're working with the roof pitch. I'm gonna fall off the ladder trying to do this.
Got it.
Hey, at least that one was easy. I think I approve. Ah, victory, Courtney. I know we scratched it, and I know it's not perfect, but overall I think it looks really nice. Uh-oh, there's down coming out of your jacket.
I know, I got a hole. I'm really, really sad. Okay, new plan.
Okay.
We're just gonna get rid of all the windows.
Just right over the top of
Just
them.
right over the top of all the windows. We just put 2 sheets up in like 5 minutes.
I know. Like, seriously, why did we put so many windows?
We didn't get quite as far yesterday as we were hoping to, but I feel like we have a good plan and I think we're gonna find some momentum today. We were both pretty bummed by how much we were scratching up all of the trim, so I'm gonna try to use some painter's tape to protect everything and then we'll peel it off once the siding's installed.
Spent a lot of time yesterday thinking about how to do this more easily because it didn't go very well yesterday. And I think that if we put this trim up first and then put this sheet on, then we can slip the top and bottom trims in after this sheet is on, then put the other one on, and then put the last sheet in. I think it's gonna be a lot easier and we're not gonna fight trying to get these sheets around the trim. The dilemma is that this sheet is covered in ice and my marker won't show up. It's got a rake cut at the top, it's got 2 window cutouts, and it has a cutout for the Mr. Cool outside unit's power. Okay, swing. Shoot, Courtney. Swinging. Aha, I went. Feeling thankful for a lot of things this morning. I'm thankful for the sunshine, thankful for the opportunity to put all this metal sales metal up, and I'm also thankful for a wife that operates the excavator. We're now at what I think is gonna be the hardest part of this entire house on the siding, which is getting the siding up on this spot right here. It's the spot that we had the hardest time getting all the sheathing on. Hopefully the siding goes smooth. What are your thoughts on this day?
But at least the sun's out, but it's just really cold.
All right, nothing like being in constant communication with your wife. We're gonna try to put the top trim in after the metal's in. That would be this one. And I can just slide it in like this. This is gonna go in front to finish out the trim, and this is gonna wrap around the top so that any water that lands in here goes around the top and down the side. Whoa, whoa.
Do you need help?
I need help. Okay, that's good. And we're gonna slide. All right, last sheet for this wall.
Good morning, guys. It was so rewarding coming to work this morning and seeing this wall fully sided. I feel like it was the motivation we needed to keep working on this outside. And so with that, now that we have the siding up on the wall, we're gonna work on installing, hi.
I am Mr. Cool. The big push to get the siding done on this house was so that we could finish our HVAC install. So today the plan is to get the outside unit mounted right here, which means we are gonna be one step closer to heating this house. This is gonna hang from this, like that. We want it up off the ground so that in the wintertime when we have snow on the ground, we don't end up with snow piled up against the condenser because that would ruin its efficiency. So, but then also by mounting it to the concrete, I'm hoping that any vibrations from the outside unit are gonna be completely deadened by the concrete and we won't hear or feel it in the house.
That wasn't bad.
That went way better than the first time we drilled the hole in this block wall. The pro tip at this moment is to put the nut on first. I remember about half of the time, if you don't, then you mangle the threads and you can't get the nut on. Little rubber footsie thing that it rests against on the bottom. Oh, that lets you level it after the fact. See, it's got a screwdriver head on that side. So after they're on, You can use those to make sure that the brackets are plumb. I think each one of these anchors is rated for like 400 pounds holding strength in that direction, so. This is too easy, Courtney. Feels solid. We drill the pilot hole, and now we're gonna drill our main hole, and this is the hole for the refrigerant line set to come out. I feel like I'm getting smoother at that. Some of you are probably screaming at your TV right now, Riley, stop, don't, you can't drill through the rim board. Yes, in a lot of applications, you can't drill through your rim board. In this situation, this wall of the house is a non-snow load bearing wall, right? So the way our roof system works, the load bearing walls for snow load are the front wall and the back wall, not the side walls. So this rim board doesn't have very much compressive load on it. It's really only supporting like a small section of the interior floor load. So I'm not concerned about drilling through it. Oh, made it. Hello. My plan is that 2 strong men are gonna put this thing up. Now, where are the 2 strong men? Are you good, Chris? Yep. Yeah, Chris's end needs to go first. And now if you can just set it on that platform. That was one of those situations where it went better than expected. Did you know this thing had a stereo? I never noticed that. Perfect. Lift with the stick. Okay, Chris, hold it for a second. I'm gonna grab some hardware.
Sure, you want me to go down?
I think it's there. I'm gonna undo the straps. Nicely done, Courtney, you're free.
That couldn't have gone any better than it did.
No, high five.
Nice job.
High five, Chris, thank you. As you guys saw over on that first wall, we were having a heck of a time getting the metal around the window, specifically around the window trim. So on the second window, we decided to leave the top and the bottom trims off and slide them in after, and that worked pretty well, but we were still having a hard time with the trims. So on this wall, we're gonna leave the top trims off till the very end, and then we're gonna slide that J-trim in all the way down from the top here. I don't know if it's the right answer. We're gonna see if this wall is easier. Well, I know this wall is gonna be easier because we can do it from ladders rather than the basket. Can we slide the trim in afterwards? Okay, push. A little more. Nice. All right, I measured once. Hopefully I won't be cutting twice. Every time I use a hole saw on this channel, we get a lot of feedback in the comments that I should run the hole saw backwards. That seems like a really good way to just dull this hole saw and ruin it. But hey, don't knock it till you try it, I guess. So I'm gonna give that a shot. We're gonna run this guy backwards and see what happens. Woo! I mean, it's working. I need earmuffs though. Okay, that was backwards. Now we're gonna go forwards. See which one's better. Backwards worked, but it was pretty slow. Forwards was a lot faster, but it was a lot more aggressive. This drill has like an automatic clutch that just turns off the power to the drill. It's not like a click style clutch. So whenever it catches, it just turns itself off. So every time you saw the hole saw stop moving, that wasn't me letting go of the trigger. That was the automatic clutch in this drill stopping the drills. So honestly, it worked pretty darn well to go forward using this hole saw on this drill. Can I put this sheet up by myself or should I wait for Courtney? Huge props to Courtney for all the help on this project. And like, she's been sitting down in the truck, editing videos. And then when I need help, she comes back up and she gives me a hand. And then when there's a break where I don't need her help, she goes back and she edits. Like, she has been working so hard lately to keep up with all the videos of building this house and keep up with watching Oliver and being a mom. It's like, she basically has 2 full-time jobs right now, or kind of 3 if you count helping me. So huge props to Courtney for all the help on this project. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Were you born ready?
Yeah.
shoot. Well, that fit. Nice job. All right, we're about to test to see if our plan of putting the top J-channel trim in afterwards is going to work. I think we probably should have checked this before we were almost 2/3 of the way done, but. Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
No problem. It was impossible before. And by not having that there, it made getting the metal around the windows, one, way easier, and two, we scratched it a lot less.
Wow, babe, last sheet and half the house is sided. Okay, it's in. Oh, it's so good.
The last month has been rough. Oliver was sick, and I was sick, and Oliver was sick again, and then I was sick again, and it's just like, I feel like I'm so behind on everything. Riley came to me last week, and he said, what if we hire out some help on this house build? And so that's what we did. We actually got some quotes, and we found some very reasonable rates for having the house insulated and drywalled. Riley has been an absolute legend working on that house every single day while I'm here taking care of Oliver. And I'm still really proud of us, even though we asked for help. So I'm finally starting to feel better, and I think tomorrow, hopefully I'm going to be able to go down there and see what everything looks like. But Riley, thank you so much for your hard work making this all happen.
All right, let's see how they're doing in here. How's it going? Oh, it feels warmer. So we have foam baffles all the way through the entire ceiling. These baffles here are going to keep the insulation from getting pressed up against the bottom of our roof deck and allow an air gap there for air to flow through our roof vents all the way up and out the ridge and keep from condensation building up on the bottom of our roof deck, keep the roof deck dry. Our header's fully insulated. That header we're not able to insulate because it's the full width or the full depth of the wall. Oh, we even got foam in all the corners, foam in the gap there between the king studs. So the key to making any insulation work is to have space for air. If you compress the insulation, there's no space for air, and then thermal conductivity can allow the heat transfer to go right through it. So that's why they're being very careful around wires and around the boxes to make sure that it remains its full puffiness. Is puffiness a word? Anyways, these guys are doing a killer job. I was pretty nervous about hiring subs to come in here and do part of this job and to kind of lose control over an aspect of it. But now that I've seen the work they're doing, I'm so relieved that they're here, they're doing it. It's been less than a day. This is day one, and they're more than halfway done with the job. So, good morning, and a quick update here from the inside of the house. As you see, the insulator's finished, and it is amazing. Like, that's the first time that Courtney and I have ever subbed out a contractor type job, and I have zero regrets. What we ended up doing for insulation in this house is R21 bats in the walls because they're 2x6 walls, and then R49 in the ceiling. Yeah, 49. R38 bat and then an R11 bat above it. So 2 layers of insulation in the ceiling to get to R39, which pretty much fills up that entire truss space that we had up here in the ceiling. We had a lot of questions about our interior framing and how it worked. So a spot like this where this bathroom wall meets our exterior wall, all we did was a single 2x4, and then for drywall backing, it's got a piece of scrap OSB. This is just exterior sheathing that we had left over, scraps of that cut up, which gives us a place to attach our drywall to here and a place here to make up this corner. But it means that our exterior insulation is able to wrap all the way around the back side of this wall, and we have continuous insulation in that entire bay. And with that, I'm excited to say that we're also subbing out the drywall. And I got the word that the drywallers are going to be here to hang all this drywall starting on Monday. We've got a long list of things to finish up before the drywallers get here. So let's get started. Coat closet right next to the front door right here. Then a built-in refrigerator right here. And then a corner pantry. Courtney and I worked late last night and we got most of the framing done in this area here. But I still have a few more pieces to add before it's ready for drywall. I completely forgot to cut out for the drain. Shoot. Woo! Crisis averted. I learned this trick in a YouTube video. Rather than setting the shower pan in a bed of mortar, you just set it in a bed of expanding foam. I've done it 3 or 4 times now, and it's worked great every time. Adding some blocking for towel racks, bathtub surround in, I've got shower pan in. I did all the plumbing off camera. I think we're about ready for drywall. Things are about to look a whole lot different in here, and I'm excited. Good morning, good afternoon. I have no idea what time it is. Today's project is to get the electrical hooked up from the electrical disconnect right here to the Mr. Cool outside unit so that it is wired up and ready to go whenever we can get the inside unit hooked up. So when you pull this little thing out, it's sort of like a key, and these 2 copper bus bars connect the power. So power, no power. And a lot of the recommendations in the electrical video to pre-stuff my conduit, for lack of a better term. Basically, why don't I just feed the wire in and then glue it together? So I'm gonna try that. Okay, I would definitely say that's the way to do it. I transitioned from PVC to flex right here behind the unit, and now we're gonna go with that liquid type flex up to the electrical box. The electrical install to the outside unit is done. All I know is that I got a text that they only have 1 step left before they are done. Oh my gosh. It looks like a house in here now. Courtney has sort of a love-hate relationship with drywall. She's pretty good at it, but on the other hand, it is a ton of work. And I think for us to do this house, it probably would have taken us like 2 or 3 weeks. So the fact that these guys came in and knocked this out in 4 days is incredible. So it's the weekend and then it's Christmas. And so it's gonna be a few days before the drywallers are back to do the texture job. So I'm gonna try to take advantage of their downtime to get a few more projects done inside. So the drywall guys have all these space heaters set up, like this one right here. And to keep it warm in here, they want it to be at least 65 so all their mud can cure. And then we've got the windows cracked for some ventilation. But once the drywallers leave, Courtney and I are gonna want it to be warm in here so that we can keep working. So I think the first project on my list is going to be to start getting the Mr. Cool air handler hooked back up again and see if I can get that fired up and start making heat. Good enough, let's paint. I don't know who's trusting me with a paint roller. Ow, my toe. Up. Okay, next up is electrical, condensate drain, line set, hook up the duct up top. This is the power for the auxiliary heat strip. It's like a big resistance heater that's inside here that's for just in case it's so cold outside that the heat pump can't keep up. So the drywallers have been using a 6,000 watt heater to heat this entire house during this drywall process with all the windows cracked, and it can keep it hot, no problem. This auxiliary heat strip is 10,000 watts. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how well this heat pump's able to heat this house, because I think it's going to be a really good solution for efficiently heating this home. That brings us to the next most asked question, which is return air. You said, Riley, don't all of the bedrooms and all of the rooms need their own ducted returns? Ideally, probably, but that would have been pretty expensive and pretty complicated. And I think I came up with an even simpler solution, which is that the air handler is located in this linen closet right here that's central to the house. And I added here and here, there are these openings that we're gonna put a louvered vent on. That's gonna allow the return air to run from this living room kitchen area into the closet, as well as from the primary bedroom into the closet. And then over the secondary bedroom, right over the door right here, I'm just gonna cut a hole on each side of the drywall and add a louvered vent there so that if that door is shut, the air can return over the top of that door. It's super simple. It basically cost me nothing. And the reason I was able to do it is because I installed this air handler in a closet that is super central to the house. Next up is the line set. This is the line set that takes the refrigerant line from the outside condenser unit to the inside evaporator unit. And I think this is the coolest part of this whole thing. If you've been around this channel, you've heard me talk about this before. These lines are pre-evacuated. The entire system is pre-charged. We don't have to run a vacuum pump. We don't have to have any pressure gauge sets. All we have to do is hook up the lines and we're done. This plunger right here pushes on this spring-loaded valve, and these O-rings seal it. So when you put this on here and tighten up this fitting, this plunger pushes this valve and it releases the refrigerant. It's a pretty ingenious system, and I just think it's so cool how accessible it makes doing HVAC work to like weekend warriors and DIY guys like me. So this is a multi-zone condenser and allows us to connect up to 5 zones and up to 48,000 BTUs. Our inside unit is 30,000 BTUs, so it's gonna use a majority of that. But we are gonna have a second zone down in the basement that's gonna connect to the second line set. I think that all we have to do is plug this smart thermostat in and it's ready to test. Here we go, plugging in the thermostat. Mode, fan. We're just gonna test the fan out first. I hear it. Woo! Button on high. Okay, let's test the heat. Oh, I just heard the compressor kick on outside. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. We have heat, guys. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Mr. Cool for being a longtime supporter of this channel and for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to learn more about all of the Mr. Cool DIY friendly products, head to the link in the description below. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to hit that subscribe and we'll see you next time.